Pampore, the historic saffron town of Kashmir, is situated on the eastern side of River Jhelum. This landscape is one of the few places where saffron, the world's most expensive spice, grows. Saffron, or kung, as it is called in Kashmiri, is deeply tied to the culture and identity of Kashmir. The ritual of cultivating and harvesting of this crop brings its people back to their roots. The peasant families labor, recite poetry, and celebrate the harvest with songs of Habba Khatun, an integral part of these saffron fields.
Yusuf Shah Chak. Habu Khotu hindis mannas mans achi vyadak. Yeh asmus vyadak hai diman emsat. Tulumun nar chum lalumun muire. Kashmir rayon ye shure pan. Ye Badshah Kashmir thahrio. Tay mon emis 15 dramas chejit chuket. Rood mahwale lona. Ay monus Badshah yamat dilasaf the tafik. Ye kahas ko ursh ye kaitich. Sujan mazimir.
Habba Khatun's beauty, intellect and her aura finds an expression in every strand of saffron that blooms here in autumn.
Habba Khatun इस मिट्टी में उसकी खुशबू हमेशा रहेगी. ज़ाफ़रान वाली इस लाल मिट्टी के अंदर वो हमेशा आपको महसूस होगी. जहाँ से भी आप गुजरेंगे हब्बा खातून का कोई न कोई इमेज आपके जहन में गुजरेगा. या तो उसका वो डोमचल का जो रस्टिक ब्यूटी वाली औरत, या शेर कहने वाली औरत, या मलिका.
The cultivation of saffron started around 4 centuries back in the semi-arid lands of Arabia and Spain. Thereafter, it spread as far as Iran, Sweden and India. Saffron cultivation has been a family-run business for centuries and has now grown into a booming commercial and cultural activity for its growers in Kashmir.
Yossi dol chi Khaja Masudi Wali Pampore Ramut Bayanan. You can't push. Asli. Then this is Ravi Kainatan, Javan Nagamas. Pat follow them Yapoi, yet Panis Alakas of Mishmiridim, the Batravi Concourse. Asli I Dolina, Shokum with the study pond.
Saffron is obtained from a species of a flower called crocus. It's a very delicate flower that needs to be handled with tenderness and care. Pampore and its neighboring areas produce an average of 16,000 kilograms of saffron every year. 1 kilogram of processed saffron is obtained from 200,000 flowers.
Consumption which we want to say. So Hindustan is very ज़्यादा consumption. और हिंदुस्तान से पेवान बे मुल्कों पे ही इंपोर्ट करूँ ये तंजन तिमन फॉरेन एक्सचेंज को ही पेवान खारिज करूँ. अगर ये लोकली ये ज़्यादा खुद ज़्यादा बेहतर बनाना और अमीर पैदावार या हुर्राम तो मुमकिन हो कि उस मुल्क से फॉरेन एक्सचेंज खारिज गसा सो यह बचाओ.
Saffron crop has a reverse biological cycle. All plants start their annual growth generally in March and April. Saffron starts growing when other plants start dying. Rain and sunshine are good for the growth of saffron bulbs, but too much of either can ruin the crop.
This saffron crop, compared to all other crops which we are growing in Kashmir, has got an inherent genetic problem. We call it genetically sterile because it is a triploid crop. Saffron does not produce seeds. Only those species in this world propagate and fully flourish which have got diversity. Diversity comes because of sexual reproduction. Saffron being a triploid crop, vegetatively propagated crop, it lacks that diversity. As long as we are not able to generate diversity in this particular crop, it may not survive in future. Either you must have better cultivation practices by which we can survive this crop.
Cultivation of saffron starts in the cold, chilly month of January. The farmers start the labor-intensive tilling and manicuring of the land till August. By the first week of September, when the soil is rich and fertile for cultivation, the bulbs are planted 4 inch deep and 4 inch apart.
February Chase Guardian Atmason Dawn Lagan. And but Chase Grantum, Vizi sheep, but this Mazmas Tayakaranis. I'm Patim Satan, I see dual of Lagun Shasan. You should is Lagan, but I said, brought Kunatan. Mother Philhal himself started Karanchi, Pushikarani, Kumum Sikatan, February pattern, Mus Pate, Fear at the Divan said Akak Allah.
All this hard work bears fruit in the 3rd week of October. The saffron fields bloom with purple flowers all over. However, if not picked in time, they wither away in just 3 weeks. During harvesting or plucking of flowers, the temperature must not be warm. So the process of picking flowers from the fields starts immediately after sunrise, considered to be the ideal time for plucking, and continues for a few hours in the morning. All the members of the family lend a helping hand to pick as many flowers within this time. Collecting the flowers is no less than a celebration time for the farmers.
Mitch Bachmanas Maziad, because Madame Spite at Milvari and Can Cadre, Tamujus Bagasan, Ninichi, Snacks, Milan, Sanctar Baki, Meois, Melania, toys, Sunday. Miss Spice, I got Bagas back, which is the demand. I take me millet cash to barter system is in Chalanos Timanduan, and it was a festival of man. Look, I spy for you on Prefkin district looks me wish me would not even in the next reach that do far flung area mulcher, you must on red brought Tayar Achunia areas, Achuzafran festival Chalan.
After the flowers are picked, they are kept for drying for a day or two. There are 3 stigmas in each flower and 2 yellow strands of pollen. The stigmas have to be picked by hand, making production labor-intensive. So in spite of being one of the most expensive spices, it is still very difficult for the grower to live off it. The whole family and sometimes labor is hired to separate the stigmas carefully. The produce is then processed and sifted so that the quality does not deteriorate. The growers make sure that the saffron stays fresh and there is no yellow pollen attached. The final stage is to package the produce to sell it in the market. It's a special time of the year for the locals. It unites the families, they eat together, work on the harvest together.
जब मेरे फादर मुझे ले जाते हैं अपनी खेतियों पे तो मज़ा आता है वहाँ पे घूमने में, मज़ा आता है सैफरन फ्लावर्स उठाने में और मज़ा आता है कि सैफरन फ्लावर्स निकालने में। प्रोसेसिंग के बाद जब हम लास्ट स्टेप पे पहुँच जाते हैं तब हमें इसमें से जो भी छोटी छोटी वेस्ट मटेरियल्स होते हैं वो निकालने पड़ते हैं, तब भी हमें बहुत मज़ा आता है। या फिर जब हम सैफरन फ्लावर्स में से सैफरन निकालते हैं तो बहुत मज़ा आता है, बहुत लेट तक हम रात को जागते हैं इसको निकालने में। तब हमारे जो ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स है या हमारे पेरेंट्स है वो हमें बहुत सारी दास्तानें सुनाते हैं, लाइक उनके बचपन या इसी सैफरन फ्लावर के बारे में कैसे उगता है, कितना टाइम लगता है। यही सब कुछ बोलने के बाद हमारी रातें गुजर जाती है और हमें फील भी नहीं होता है कि हमने इतना काम किया है।
Grading of saffron is done by gauging its picrocrosin, crocin and saffronal content, meaning flavor, color and aroma respectively. The higher the content of these 3 factors, the better the quality of the saffron. Given its luminous yellow-orange color and earthy aroma, saffron is widely used in confectionery, desserts, rice and at times in fine liqueurs around the world. In Kashmir, almost every delicacy is laced with saffron, be it the cuisine of Kashmir Wazwan or the steaming bowl of harsa with a cup of saffron kava. Some historical accounts say that it was even used in ancient Mesopotamian and Sumerian civilizations for magic potions and for the cure of melancholia.
Yet has the central government has been. Yet must make a complete construction visit. Why the Kashi Association man Kashmir pass. When we as Maslas, yet you I see Allah Talsan Tarpi, यह हेको नस खरीद कसूर कि ये पे रूद कहें तो अल्लाह ताला सद तरफ शुक्र लाख लाख रोज तमिस कुन तो तम पे वनकस तूत ये द्रामुत कह नत वनकस रोपये मज 20% गई 20% ये द्रामुत 60% गो कम वजह क्या वजह आबच प्रॉब्लम कि ये करो एग्रीकल्चर वाले प्रोग्राम यमो ट्यूबवेल व्यूबेल मगर यम स्टार्ट गसान फिलहाल।
Saffron production has been decreasing substantially over the last 10 years in the valley, facing problems that may threaten its future. There is not much clarity on how to get rid of these problems that can influence the future of saffron production in the state.
जर गई सन माल माज तम करान मेहनत तम सुबह वथान सुल नमाज पान पे वुडर खसान अत दिल खुल सान खसान खुश तो खुशहाल सान तम खसान तो वह नव जनरेशन आई इन ये दिलचस्पी तीजा कहें तो बेसिकली गो वजह दिलचस्पी क्या ये तो दिवान वो तमें आयास फायदे कहें ये वन गरीब यमिस कम जमीन वरियस अनान अगर अमिस मतलब बच्चे कह जेन खतर गुरबत कुन किस्म पे अनान कर्ज तुल बड़न बड़न बापार नश अन कर्ज तुल वरियो खर्च पकना अमिस नजर आसान ये कोंग जमीन पे सुबह वस मे ये नेरी कोंग यह कर्ज वस मे अम सुंद नख तो तम ना पे ये सात नान पे ना रेट गसान अम सा नजर मतलब अगर मे तोल हथ नीर मे बापर सुंद रोपये लच कर्ज मे यी तोल हथस 2 लाख रपये यह पन्निस मतलब सोचान पन्निस दिमागस सत पे अमिस कुन मोक बापर नश वातान यह दिनुक तो अत रेट गसान ऑटोमेटिक डाउन यह तरान समझ ये पे क्या गवर्नमेंट चाल या यह बापार नश चाल गरीबन नश कड़ो गोड़ यह तो पे रावो क्या करनस क्या कर।
In India, Jammu and Kashmir tops the list of the saffron growing states. In fact, out of the total 5,700 hectares of land under its cultivation all over India, 4,500 hectares belong just to Jammu and Kashmir, which produces around 2,000 kilograms of this precious spice. Although we rely majorly on saffron production from Pampore, Kishtwar area in Jammu also contributes significantly to its total number. The thin and delicate bright strands of this elegant violet flower is considered to be the most exquisite spice with a flavor that is intricate, subtle and emotive. No wonder its plantation is no less than a cultural ceremony and a cause for much celebration for the people of Kashmir.
Lethpora